In this video, I'm going to share with you why most people only live 14.2% of their actual life, how to escape the labor-death trap that keeps people stuck in a life of mediocrity, why mediocrity is the default path of the matrix, and how you can become your higher self by shifting your relationship with money. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Thor Motu Dyrensborg. This is the Thorganic experience where we talk everything about synthesizing consciousness, spirituality, and business, and helping you become your higher self. Smash the like button. It's so good to be with you. Let's jump right into the video. So most people only live 14.2% of their life, and how to escape the labor-death loop. This is the topic of our conversation today. We will go over the scam. Money equals soul, love, health, freedom, and time. The labor-death loop, taking back your life force, your relationship with money, and how to get past level 1 in life, and why you need a high vibrational business. So the scam. The scam is the lie that we've been sold from literally everyone around us. Your parents, your teachers, even the gurus that you look up to online, they're all scamming you when it comes to work, meaning, and fulfillment. Western consciousness tries to reach God through manipulation of external reality. The underlying pretense of this distortion stems from the metaphor of the hungry ghost. The hungry ghost is never satisfied, always hungry, and always looking for more. So what we see in Western consciousness is the foundational aspect of materialism. You've been sold a lie that makes you think that you need way more than you actually need to be happy, fulfilled, and have meaning in your life. This distortion of materialism is the propagandic mental imprint that makes you think that you want things that you don't need under the illusion that these things will make you happy. More is not always better, and less is often more. We've been duped. You think that you want more than you actually need to be happy, so you willingly sacrifice the majority of your vitality and life force to get these things that won't give you any more happiness than a quick hit of dopamine. Your life force is being siphoned like a battery into the economic machine to feed the engine of the matrix. The problem is not that you want nice things, it's that you're willing to sacrifice your deeper core desires that come from your soul to get some surface level material. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. So, when it comes to money and understanding money, we have to understand the foundational spirituality of money and why we've been scammed out of our life force in order to make money. And so what we need to understand is what we really want. What you really want is not actually money. What you really want is soul, health, freedom, love, and time. That's the way that I concoct this synthesis, that what you really want is soul, love, health, freedom, and time, because those are the things that you really want money for. Money is inherently meaningless. People say that they want money, but they don't actually want money. What they want is what the money can buy them. And so it doesn't make sense when we're designing our reality to look at reality in a compartmentalized way, when we could otherwise look at it in a holistic way. It's the nature of life to look at things more holistically. And so what we need to understand here is that sacrificing your soul, love, health, freedom, and time for money is literal insanity. It's what gets you stuck in the labor-death loop. And it is completely pointless when the only reason why you want the money is to buy you and enhance your life, your soul, your love, your health, your freedom, your time. All the things that you really want come from the things that you really want. It doesn't actually come from money. Money has no meaning other than the meaning that you give it. And it is really, really important on a spiritual level that we understand this concept, because the lack of understanding on the spiritual mechanics of money is what keeps most people trapped in level 1 in the game of life. And so most people are stuck in the labor-death loop, and very few people are able to break out of it. But the people that do are able to basically find a way to make money while enhancing and maintaining high levels of soul connection, quality relationships and love in their life, health and vitality, freedom, and time. And if you can have money, soul, health, love, freedom, and time all together, then you have the ultimate in life. You have a concoction, you have an equation for ultimate fulfillment and alignment in your being so that you can become your higher self. So you want to find a way to make money without sacrificing your soul, love, health, freedom, and time. If you can align the way that you make money with soul, love, health, freedom, and time, then you become your higher self and you self-actualize yourself in this lifetime. And plus, a bonus is if you can create this timeline in a way that helps other people to also align with money, soul, love, health, freedom, and time, then you really become ultimately aligned, because your path of service and your gift to the world helps other people to break out of the matrix, to transform, to awaken into their higher self and become the highest version of themselves. So when it comes to the labor-death trap, we need to understand how this construct works and why most people get stuck in it. Most people trade their time for money willingly, and they choose to give up 85.8% of their life away. 85.8% is the opposite of 14.2%, by the way. And these numbers basically come from the fractions of a week, the time frame, and a 24-hour time cycle. So essentially how this works is there's only 24 hours in a day, right? You have 8 hours that goes to sleep. You got to sleep for 8 hours. Otherwise, you're metabolically not going to be healthy. There's another 8 hours in the day that, if we're honestly quite honest with ourselves, most of that time just goes to random life tasks. Imagine going to the grocery store, picking up your kids from school, waiting on the phone for a customer service agent. All of these things are essentially just random things that we need to do. And then we have about 8 hours left in the day. And what do they tell us to do with those 8 hours? They tell us to go to work. So literally, a person's life, all of their waking hours, if you take out the sleep, you have 50% of the time left. You have 16 hours left. You divide that by 2, 50-50. You have 8 hours on one side, 8 hours on the other side. Half of most people's living existence literally just goes to work. And the work that people are doing are not aligned with their higher self. They're not aligned with their true self spiritually. So they end up fragmenting themselves into multiple personalities, distortions of themselves, and they end up compromising their life, right? If you work 5 days a week and you get 2 days off a week, one of those 2 days is probably going to go to just running errands, getting chores done, doctor's appointments, and just random life tasks that you can do. That leaves us with literally 1 day left. 1 day out of 7 days. I guess in the Bible, they say that's the day of rest. And a lot of people that play in this matrix of life, a lot of people that only live 14.2% of the time, they normalize this as something that's just normal because we've been indoctrinated into being slaves. We've been colonized in our consciousness to feed this economic machine and think that it's normal to be working jobs that we don't like to do, to be wasting our time and our life force energy to feed a machine that's not going to do anything other than pay us a minimum wage and a measly dollar to get by. But the problem is, if we're sacrificing all the things that we truly value in life, and we start to accept on a subconscious level that the only way that we can live life is by sacrificing 6 out of 7 days out of the week, then we're going to basically program our subconscious mind for failure, for mediocrity, and for being stuck in the matrix. So why would anyone choose to willingly give 85.8% of their life away and only live 14.2% of the time? Well, there's a lot of factors involved. Subconscious conditioning is one of the factors. 90% of people, they live in this distortion of reality because we've just normalized mediocrity. Most people work a standard 9-to-5 job, and that's just what we think is normal and what we think life is, when this is just a construct in our collective consciousness that really doesn't serve anybody other than the global elites and the person that owns the business that you work for. Another reason why people choose this life is simply just responsibilities. If you went through your life journey for long enough and you made certain decisions, maybe you had one too many kids, God bless your kids, but maybe you just had kids really quickly, and now the responsibilities of life are just sort of weighing on you, and you got to do what you got to do to put food on the table, to provide for your family, and bills stack up, right? You have kids, you don't have space. And when you don't have space, it's really difficult to connect with yourself on a soul level, because you got to do what you got to do. You got to bite down, and you got to sacrifice some of those higher relationships with yourself in order to do what you got to do. Now, the problem with this is we're living in a time where inflation is going up like crazy, and the value of our dollar is decreasing like crazy as well. Where before, in the 1950s or so, the value of the dollar was significantly higher. One was able to work a job and just have a labor-full job career and still buy a house and provide for their family, but it just simply doesn't work anymore. So we need to find a better way to navigate this reality. Another reason why people fall into this trap is just simply lack of thinking, of awareness. Most people are zombies. They just walk through life on autopilot, never thinking or questioning anything. And because they're drifting on default mode through the matrix just scoops them up and puts them in the labor-death loop, because that's the default path that 90% of people take. Most people are sheep. And if you're watching this video, then you're obviously not one of those people, and you're somebody who's spiritually awakened, someone who's conscious, someone who's aware. You're not an NPC. And because you have this higher awareness, it is your duty, your job to fix your relationship with money so that you can become your higher self in this lifetime and amplify your light so that other people can find their way back home as well. That's the whole point of why we've incarnated on this planet. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that a little bit later in this video. Another reason why people get stuck is limiting beliefs. They might not think that it's possible for them to break out of their norms and their paradigms. Another reason is simply disconnection with our soul. When you're disconnected from your soul, which is also the default path that most people take in life right now, because we're fed chemicals, toxins, inflammation, and poison everywhere we look, media, all of these things are siphoning your life force and your life energy, so it disconnects you from the light in your soul and prevents you from having the conscious awareness to shift the things that you need to shift in your life. And frankly, this is just the matrix. This is how the matrix works. It siphons your energy, your life force, your sovereignty, and convinces you that you need it to survive, when in reality, it is the thing that's empty, meaningless, and needs you for its survival. So it's time. It's time to take back your life force. It's time to reclaim your sovereignty as a spiritual being on this planet. You are in a spiritual battle for your soul. The Matrix wants your consent to give up your life force and to feed its machine, but you don't have to. The Matrix needs you to consent to stealing your energy. What you truly are is a conscious, sovereign being with choice. You get to decide how you engage with this reality. You are a conscious, sovereign being. In every moment of your day, in every breath that you've ever taken, you are the one who decides how you move through this rainbow light weave and how you choose to design your life. You are the creator, not the victim, 100% of the time. And through your conscious awareness, you can actually begin to reclaim your life force that from the energetically parasitic constructs that want to take everything from you. None of these constructs can take anything from you without your consent. Darkness uses fear and lower emotional frequencies to distort your clarity, your connection to God, and your light. The way to break free is to return to the natural world. The natural world is God's creation. We are made out of nature. The indigenous people have known how to live in harmony with each other and with nature for thousands and thousands of years. We all come from indigenous ancestors. This indigenous code of consciousness, this relationship to the earth itself, is encoded in our DNA. And because we come from nature and our bodies are made out of flesh and soil, when we return to nature, we return to health, we purify our temple, and we return to God. If you let go of the artificial holographic distortion of reality that is pushed upon us through media propaganda and demonic technological oligarchs that want to turn the world into an artificial cyberpunk landscape where people are uploading their consciousness to the cloud, the way that we fight back is not to just double, triple down on AI, although that can be useful at times and in moments to play the game, but we also need to have a foot out of the game. We have to be connected to nature. Otherwise, our consciousness is just going to spin out and we're going to spiral out into darkness. So ultimately, all of this is to say that you need to change and heal your relationship with money in order to get past level 1 in the game of life. In order to break past the matrix, you have to heal your relationship with money, because the reality is cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Not really, but I just love saying that. And it kind of is though, because essentially with money, money is just a spiritual tool. And if you believe that cash rules everything around you, cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all, then you're going to fall into the illusion and the trap of money. Okay, you're not going to be able to break out of this illusion and trap if you're too identified with money. You have to first be connected with God. You have to first be connected with spirit, and then you funnel that energy down and the money comes after. If you go about this backwards, you're going to get trapped in the matrix. So the only way to get past level 1 in life is to fix your relationship with money. Your relationship with money is the gatekeeper from your higher timeline and your higher consciousness. How to get past level 1 in the game of life. I'm gonna go through this in a second because I really want to go through this cash rules everything around me, because this is where most people fall into the trap. I'm gonna go over this first. See, boom, right there. So the chasing the money trap. Right? The chasing the money trap is about never chasing the money, right? You never chase the money, you let the money come to you. And you need to align your business with your ideal lifestyle. So if you chase the money, you get trapped in one-day land. If you go about this backwards, then you will get trapped and you will have a very hard time getting out of it. A lot of people chase the money first to get to where they really want: the soul, the love, the health, the freedom, and the time. Even if they are aware of the labor-death loop, they still get trapped, just in a different cage. And this cage is the chasing the money trap. When you get trapped in one-day land, you design your life in a way where you're going to live the dream life that you want to live one day into the future. The problem with this is you're never truly living, and one day never truly arrives because you're always pushing the can. You're kicking the can down the road for another day, another year into the future. And especially in the life that we're living right now, where everything is changing so constantly all the time, you need to design your life now. You need to align with your soul now and design your life from that place. Otherwise, it's so easy for your soul to get lost in distortions and illusions of consciousness. So you need to align your life and your business with your ideal lifestyle. If you chase the money first with the disregard of your lifestyle, you will corrupt your soul, and in the process, you will live in a distortion of one-day land. One-day land is where people are grinding 80 hours a week to live. These are A-type people, people that love the word entrepreneur, tech bro, startup bro, crypto bro, a lot of bros out there, lady bosses, etc. People that are all about the business and all about the money. These people are stuck in a trap because they're not living in the now. They're pushing their life down one day down the road, and they're feeding the hungry ghost that'll never be satisfied. Most of these people that are in this trap have way more than enough money to survive, to thrive, to be fully happy, bliss, Sat Chitananda, literally bliss, consciousness, truth, and life now, but they're not. And because they're not, they're living a life prayer and a life ceremony that's fragmented, that pushes us collectively further down the distortion of Western consciousness into artificial and holographic reality. One day land is not where you want to be. What you want to be living in is the now. You want to design your lifestyle now, okay? And when we design our lifestyle for now, what we're able to do is we're able to break past level 1 in the game of life. So the way that we break past level 1 in the game of life is 3 steps. There's 3 steps to this. One is you want to start with the end in mind. You want to envision what your dream life would look like when you get there at the end, and then you want to work yourself backwards from there. The second question you want to ask yourself is, how can you live your dream life now? Collapse the timeline between the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And the quicker you collapse the gap, the more your life will actually accelerate in the direction of your soul alignment, because you're not going to be no longer fragmenting your consciousness. So the way you can design your dream life is also threefold. There's 3 tiers to your dream life, but you must first understand what your minimum viable dream life is. That is the top goal out of all of this, because the other variations of your dream life are just going to come after you manifest your minimal viable dream life. If you think of your top tier dream life, your top tier dream life is like your ultimate dream. Like, it's like, you know, the fantasy in the clouds. This is your absolute top of the line dream life, where you're living in a mansion, you have a yacht, you fly to the moon, you know, the really big one. You want to have that dream clear because you want to have something to shoot for. And it doesn't have to be materialistic. This can be self-actualization. This can be spiritual alignment. You know, this can be a lot of things. Whatever your top tier dream life is, you want to get that clear. And then you want to create a mid-tier dream life. Your mid-tier dream life is looking like a dream life that's better than where you are. It's, you know, you're already living your dream, but things are just getting better and better for you. Your mid-tier dream life is sort of fun. It's play. You know, you've already got out of all, basically have all your basic survival needs covered. And because you have all your basic survival needs covered, you are just focusing on loving life. You're playing with life. You know, you're in the game. You're playing with the colors, the shapes, what you wear, how you express yourself, the places that you go. Your mid-tier dream life is very fun. And what we need to understand is that the top tier dream life and the mid-tier dream life are simply just manifestations of your MVD. Your MVD is the goal that you want to get to, because when you achieve your MVD, then the other tiers of your dream life manifest on their own. They come as a byproduct of you living in alignment now. So your MVD, your minimal viable dream life, is the key that you want to design first. The other 2 will come after once you're living in alignment with your MVD. Your MVD is, as it describes, it's your minimal viable dream life. It's the closest timeline to where you are now, where you can start to manifest and live in alignment with your dream. Your dream life will look like the amplification of your soul, love, health, freedom, and time, and ideally your money. So the way you want to really think about this is you want to look at your minimal viable dream life as how can you put yourself, like, what's the closest timeline to where you are now that is going to allow you to live in a version of yourself where you feel nourished, where you feel fulfilled, where you're living in bliss, where life is feeling good. When it comes to manifestation and law of attraction, it's all about feeling good. Not in the sense of feeling good from taking stimulants or from like having high stimulated experiences, but really on a soul level, like what is going to nourish you? What does that environment look like? What does that home look like? And beginning to create that for yourself. The faster that you're able to create that environment, that minimal viable dream life, the faster you will create higher tiers of your dream life, because they will all be byproducts and extensions of you living in alignment with your dream life now. So what is the concoction of reality that you can create now or within the next 3 to 6 months to move you into alignment with your minimal viable dream life? For example, one person may say that starting a side business as with the initial goal to make $1,000 a month, so you can cut your hours at your day job in half that have been draining you and really like depleting your energy, so you have more time, more energy, more vitality to pour into yourself, might be an example of moving into your MVD. Another example could be someone who wants to just move to Thailand, where the cost of living is significantly lower than in the US, and where there are other like-minded spiritual people and digital nomads that are living a similar life to your dream life. Putting yourself in an environment that's nourishing, that has spiritual mana, where you're not stuck in a concrete jungle in a suburb in America where there's no life force, where people are just consuming consumption. When you're surrounded by all of these toxic matrix things, you're just going to get pulled into it. It's not going to be conducive for your soul growth. So another example would be like selling a bunch of unnecessary shit that you just don't need, getting rid of your car payment, consolidating, simplifying your life and your budget so that you're not stressed or spread thin. These are just some examples I want to give you, but think about it. Spend some time with your minimal viable dream life and really get clear on what it would take. And sometimes getting clear on our MBD is often quicker than what we think, because sometimes we put these subconscious blocks in the way of actually manifesting the timeline that we really want. And quite simply, we could easily just collapse the timeline and shift into our dream life if we were to simply let ourselves. So number 3, right? So we're on step 1, 2, 3 of how to get past level 1 in life. Step number 1 was starting with the end in mind. Step number 2 is how you can live your dream life now. And now step number 3 is to design your business in alignment with your ideal lifestyle. And you really want to avoid this mistake. If the business or the way that you're making money comes at the sacrifice of your ideal lifestyle, it's not worth it, period. The point I'm trying to make here is that you don't want to sacrifice the things that you really want for money, because this is a loop that you can get into that will really hold you back for a long time. Because when you design business just for money, it's really easy to fall into the distortion of living for one day and never living for today. And so when you think about money, what you really want to think about is like the quality, the totality of your lifestyle, right? You want to design this business in alignment with your ideal lifestyle. And you want to ask yourself, think about it like this. Would you rather make $300,000 a year, or would you rather make $50,000 a year? Now, let's say $300,000 a year. To make that, it's going to take you moving away from your family, working 80 hours a week. You're stressed out every day. You're in a shitty, toxic office environment. Your health is deteriorating, and it just doesn't feel like in alignment. Would you take that job? You could say $300,000 is great, but is it really worth it? On the other hand, let's say you start off making $50,000 in your business. You start off with this business in your first year, you're investing all of your energy back into yourself, right? You're growing this thing that you absolutely love. It lights you up. You get to make your own schedule. You're doing what you want to do with who you want to do it. You're spending quality time with your family, and you're happy and vibrant. Which one would you rather have? Like, yeah, with the $50,000, life might be tight if you're living in New York City, but if you're living in Thailand, $50,000, you might live like a king, right? You need to create this this idea in yourself you need to understand is that you don't want the money today. What you want is the lifestyle. You don't even want the money at all. What you really want is the lifestyle. The lifestyle is the only thing that you're going for. And to wrap up this video, I'm going to go over with you now the most important thing in this entire presentation, which is why you need a high vibrational business. The high vibrational business is the key to creating alignment in your money, your soul, your love, your health, your freedom, and your time. When you have all of these things, you live in the ultimate timeline of reality. The high vibrational business is designed to empower you to become your higher self. Imagine having a business that would support you and amplify every area of your life, your soul, your love, your health, your freedom, and your time. Imagine building a business that would not only do that for you, but would also allow you to give your gift to other people, to help other people heal, awaken, and transform into their higher self as well. So after spiritual awakening comes high vibrational business. After you have your spiritual awakening, now what? What do you do after that? Well, what you do is you chop wood and you carry water, of course. But the way that you chop wood and carry water is with intention. And when we design our life, we can amplify our consciousness by aligning our business with our spiritual path. And this is the ultimate career. The ultimate career that we can have in this life is to make our business in alignment with our spiritual path. It allows us to make our life ceremony into our prayer. The way that you live your life and your life ceremony is your life prayer. And when you approach business from your spirituality, you find that the highest path in business is to have a business that supports other people in their spiritual awakening, in their spiritual development, and becoming their higher self. So the three pillars of the high vibrational business are amplification, launch, and scale. The high vibrational business helps you to amplify your voice by building your brand, your business around your personal brand. And from this place, we use this as the center of your universe that allows you to grow and transform with your business. The second thing that we do is we launch. We launch your business on day one using a done-for-you business model equipped with proprietary software stacks, systems, processes, tools, and resources to launch your high vibrational business on day one so you can start collapsing the timeline and living your minimal viable dream life. And then the third step is we help you to scale. We help you to scale your high vibrational business with and alongside a community of like-minded, spiritually awakened creators and coaches that are co-creating this new earth together. So if you are a spiritually awakened creator or coach, this community is a community of like-minded people that are spiritually awakened that are working together to build a high vibrational business individually and collectively to amplify your message to the world, to raise the collective frequency, bring more people into consciousness and awakening, build real life community, heal our planet, and co-create this new earth together. If this is resonating with you on a soul level, if you're feeling the call to look more into this high vibrational business, this is my business that I've started utilizing my skill set of over 10 years in business and entrepreneurship and my commitment to my spiritual transformational journey, having sat with ayahuasca medicine over 12 times, having lived in the beautiful heart center of the world of Hawaii and the ancient blueprints of Lemuria and ancient Atlantis. And it's just been my path and synthesis through this life as the middle path between spirituality and the matrix to allow ourselves to overflow our cup as God would want us to, so that we're overflowing with divine light, and that divine light is able to uplift everyone around us. So if this feeling tone, if this vibrational synchronicity is resonating with your soul, I've recorded a 40-minute long high vibrational webinar. The link is going to be in the description. You can watch that webinar, and it's going to fill in all the gaps and missing pieces to explain to you the spiritual spirituality and the blueprint and the foundation of how this high vibrational business works and how it can be the tool that will be the catalyst to amplify your life into transforming into your higher self. If you liked this video, if you liked this mind map and this presentation, then smash the like button, leave a comment down below with all of your thoughts and your feelings. Would love to engage with you in the comments as well, and subscribe to the channel. We're posting new content almost every week as I present my consciousness to the world and bring more aligned people into my field so that we can really build this new earth together. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are resonating with this video, we're going to have another video popping up here that's going to further your understanding and alignment in these high vibrational concepts. Wherever you are in the world, may you be so blessed and highly favored. May God, Spirit, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, Great Spirit, Great Mystery, this beautiful universe, shine all of its light upon you. May you open your heart to feel more love, and may you be, and all beings be, so blessed, so happy, and so free. I'll see you on the next video. Aloha. Namaste. Peace.